Before we even get started, I'm gonna tell you right away, you need to see this movie. Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is of course Smiley, you know me, you love me, and today I'm very excited to be talking with you guys about Bombshell, the movie that tells the story of Roger Ailes' sexual abuse through the eyes of Gretchen Carlson, Megyn Kelly, and Kayla Pospispel. I'm not entirely sure if I'm pronouncing that name correctly, apologies if I'm not. And I'll tell you guys right away, I had no intention of seeing this movie when I saw the trailer in the theaters. I saw the trailer and I was like, okay, but I was looking around for something to watch the other night, and I saw that it was available on Google, so I purchased it, and I watched it, and holy fucking shit, this movie is phenomenal. Now, very sensitive subject matter is dealt with in the film. So if you are particularly sensitive to these kinds of topics, I'm not sure that this film is for you. There are a lot of uncomfortable situations portrayed in the film, and when I say uncomfortable, I mean absolutely fucking heinous. And even though this movie is based on a true story, in case you guys don't know, I'm gonna not really spoil anything. Just know that this movie is as close to reality as you can possibly get. And yeah, the sequences of abuse in this film are really uncomfortable. And I'm saying that as a man who has never experienced any kind of sexual abuse at all in my life. And this movie disturbed the hell out of me. I felt really uncomfortable watching some of these scenes. It just gives you a certain appreciation for what the actual people went through. Obviously, it doesn't even compare, doesn't even come close, but at least you have some semblance of understanding. That's really what I feel that this movie gave me, more of a understanding of what it's like to be abused in the workplace and that sorts of things, to be sexually assaulted and harassed. I know because of this movie, I'm certainly going to try and be a better person out there in the world, and I'm getting ahead of myself a little here. Let's talk about the characters in the film. Megyn Kelly is played by Charlize Theron, and she is absolutely fucking brilliant in this role. I didn't think they looked alike when, you know, you look at two pictures of them, but holy shit, in the movie, she is fucking spot on for Megyn Kelly. That really goes for everyone in this movie. Everyone does a phenomenal job of blending into their role so well that you hardly even see them. They are just consumed by these characters they play, and that's really great when you're watching something like this, especially something like this, when this happens so recently, and everyone knows who these people are. It is important that when you look at these actresses on screen that you can see not them, but the person they're supposed to be portraying. Nicole Kidman plays Gretchen Carlson and does a phenomenal fucking job. Her and Charlize Theron's character will sometimes talk to the camera, and I think it really works for this movie. It gave you a lot of good details, good exposition that you needed to know, and it did it in such a fun way. Like, narration is nothing new to movies, but it's all about how it's written, and it's written really well here that it just worked so well with the film. These fourth wall breaks felt really natural, and I actually really appreciated them. They offered a moment of levity in this very tense film. Like, this movie is tense as fucking hell. And like I said, uncomfortable at times. And speaking of uncomfortable, Margot Robbie plays Kayla. I cannot pronounce her last name properly, so I'm just gonna call her Kayla. And she also does a phenomenal job. She is given quite a lot of these uncomfortable scenes, and she absolutely fucking nails it. Like, her facial expressions during these sequences are definitely what sells this. Because we do hear a lot of stories of abuse, but very rarely in the film do we see it on screen, and with Kayla's character, we see it on screen. And Margot Robbie was just absolutely phenomenal in this role. Though the movie does primarily focus on Megyn Kelly, and of course, you know, I said it earlier, Charlize Theron did a phenomenal job. In fact, she was nominated for Best Actress for this, for the Oscars. Unfortunately, she didn't win. Having seen this film, I think she probably should have, because this was absolutely brilliant. Jay Roach directs this movie. Jay Roach, if you don't know, the last thing I remember him doing was Dinner for Schmucks, of all things. And then he comes out with this movie, and it's like, holy shit, the guy can direct a fucking good movie too. Like, this movie is shot really well. There are a lot of one-shots and moving through these large sets and everything with lots of people acting, and it brought me back a little bit to 12 Angry Men, because in 12 Angry Men there are a lot of one-shots where they kind of sweep through the room and everything, and everyone has to stay in character because everyone's on camera. And any movie that can give me flashbacks to 12 Angry Men is doing a phenomenal fucking job, so props there to Jay Roach. And props to everyone who worked on this movie. This was really good. And actually, since I watched it that first time, I've actually rewatched it like 4 fucking times. I do think that this is one of those movies that's kind of important to see. So I highly recommend that you guys go out and do that because it's great. It's fucking great. And I'm gonna go ahead and give Bombshell an incredible 9 out of 10. 9 out of fucking 10. This film is absolutely incredible. There are some really, really funny moments in this movie which help to break up a lot of the tension, because there's a lot of tension in this film. A lot of disturbing scenes, and with all that in mind, I still highly recommend that you guys go out and see this if you're not sensitive to the subject matter. And yeah, that's really all I got for you guys for Bombshell. Leave a like on this video if you liked it. Leave a dislike if you didn't like it. Have you guys seen Bombshell? What do you guys think about it? Let me know in those comments down below. I want to hear your thoughts on this film. And as always, I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. I will see you on Saturday. Keep it kosher. Peace.